So when you start working, there is 90% chance, there's 90%, 80 to 90% chance that you might come across the word called Bastion. This word Bastion. Now, if you look at the English meaning of this word, Bastion, let's check. Bastion is something you use to gain access to something. Let's check. Anything seen as preserving or protecting some quality, condition, a bastion of solitude, bastion of democracy. What is the meaning of the word bastion? Okay, projecting a work in a fortification designed to permit fire to the flanks along the face of the wall. To permit. Let's look at the proper, how do I use the word bastion? It actually is one of the last version of skill, Bastion, what used as a general term for person, but probably best. No. Now, the English, I don't know, I'm not seeing, maybe this first one I saw here, try to explain that fire permit something. Now, when you say bastion, you give access through one thing, you gain access to another thing. So that first thing that you gain access with is called a bastion. Let's say, for instance, see here, see. Let me take, let's say Dubai. There's Dubai. All right. And they come. There's Dubai. Okay. There's Nigeria. Better. See here. As a Nigerian, presently, Dubai does not give us access. As in work permit, all those permits. So Dubai does not give us access to work permits. But as a Nigerian, I want to come into Dubai through a work permit. So that means I could go through Saudi. I could go through Saudi, then I will enter Dubai. So for Nigerians, for Nigerians that want to come to Dubai, they have to go to Saudi Arabia first. Then they can easily get a permit to enter Dubai. So Saudi Arabia is playing the character of a bastion. So through Saudi Arabia, I was able to reach Dubai as a Nigerian. So Saudi is playing the role of a bastion. Now, the same illustration is applicable to what we have in the world of computing. This bastion is a public-facing EC2 instance. Bastion is just a name, nomenclature, but it's identified with the dictionary meaning. All right, you map it to the dictionary meaning. It's through that guy, through that bastion, you use it to access other things. Now, through this bastion, I want to be able to access this private host, this private EC2 instance. Through this bastion, I want to access this EC2 instance. Without this Bastion, there's no way on earth I can access this guy. There are other ways though, there are other ways. But I want to keep this guy very private. Assuming that I have critical workload, critical applications running on this private host. So I want to keep it private. This guy should not be exposed to the internet. That's the idea, guys. This guy should not be exposed to the internet. So for that, but it should not be exposed to the internet. And at the same time, I want to gain access to this guy. So I want to be having access to this guy. How do I access what is running on this guy? It is only via a Bastion host. It is only through what? A Bastion host I could reach this guy. Now, this guy is deployed inside of a private subnet. It means that there's no internet access. The only guy that has an internet access is the Bastion host, which is deployed inside a public subnet. At this juncture, guys, before we go creating all of this, this infrastructure, is there any question? Is there any question? All right, no question. Now, I'll go to my AWS tenants. I'll go to VPC. So my VPC, I'll create a VPC. I'll create subnets, both public subnets and private subnets. Let's do that quickly, no time. Create VPC. Just VPC only. I'll call it demo VPC. My CDA block is 15.0.0.0/16. That's all. Create. I'll create a subnet. I'll create two subnets. Create subnets under this VPC, demo VPC. First subnet, I'll call it pub subnet. That's public subnet. Public subnet. Availability zone 1A. CDA block 15.0.1.0/24. Add another subnet. I'll call it private subnet. Private subnet. Availability zone 2. CDA 15.0.2.0/24. Create. I have created two subnets, private subnets and public subnets. Go to route table. Route table. I'll call it public RT. All right, public RT. Inside which VPC? Demo VPC. Create. Routables. Wait, I come and see this thing. Who didn't create this thing? All right. So I've created what? A public RT. Now create internet gateway. Create demo IGW. Create. Now I will associate. I'll come to, okay, no, I need to attach my IGW, attach it to a VPC, attach to a VPC. Don't forget to select your VPC, demo VPC, click on attach. It's been attached. Come to route table. Come to your public route table. Route. Edit route. Add the route. 0.0.0/0. What to what? To an internet gateway. Here's internet gateway. Click on save. Save. Now do a subnet association to a route table. Where's my subnet? Public subnet. Only that public subnet. Route table. Edit route. Come over here. Public route. You can see. Save. So my public subnet now has what? Internet access. So far for my diagram, I have created the VPC that includes the public subnet and the private subnet. So I want to attach this subnet to my EC2 instances. So I'll come here, duplicate. I'll go to EC2. I'll go to instances. Okay, I need to delete that launch. Let me delete that launch template. I don't need it. Delete this launch templates. Action. Delete templates. Delete. All right. Now go to instances. Launch an instance. I'll create 2 instances. One is a Bastion host. Number of instances 2. The OS, Amazon Linux. AMI 2. Instance type is T2 micro. The key pair, I have this key pair, C2 key. The network, click on edit. Remember, what you have here is default. I don't want to use default. I want to use my own VPC that I created. Click here, demo VPC. The subnet. Now, we have 2 subnets, the private subnet and public subnet. There's something we didn't do on subnet. Let's go back. Now, this public subnet, I want this public subnet to be able to assign public IP automatically. I don't want to do it manually. I want my public subnet to be able to assign public IP automatically. So I will check my public subnet, then I will go to actions. I'll come to what? Edit subnet settings. And let me come back. I will select the subnet. I'll come to actions and I'll click on what? Edit subnet settings. Click on it. Then under auto assign IP settings, I'll enable this box. Enable auto assign public IPv4 address. That's all, guys. Scroll to the bottom and click on what? Save. That it has been saved. Now come to your EC2 instance. So the moment I choose this guy, public subnet, it will automatically select enable here. See, because this is the Bastion host. Oh, it has to be one, please. Let's do it one by one. One by one. The subnet will be public subnet. Let me refresh. 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 Let's come back. Let me cancel. Let me go again. Launch instance. Let me call it Bastion host. Amazon Linux. AMI 2. Scroll. T2 micro. Key pair is CH key. Network settings. Edit. VPC is demo VPC. Now, once I select public subnet, it automatically update this guy to enable. Click here, public subnet. You can see it automatically assign it to enable because I've already done it from the VPC side. Firewall, select an existing firewall. We don't need to create a new firewall because we have a firewall already. So select an existing firewall, come over here. That firewall is, all right. So that firewall was not created under this VPC. Okay, so we need to create a new firewall under this VPC. So come here, create a new firewall, call it a new security group. Let's call it CHSG. All right. Let's keep it simple. C2SG. All right. Now, description. Allow access to resources. To C2 resources. Now I need SSH access. That's okay. The EC2 instance, 8 GB is fine. Click on launch. So this guy is my Bastion host. Let's view it. View the instance. Where's the instance? Bastion host. So we have created this what? Bastion host. Let's see if we can access internet from that Bastion host. Let's come back here. Bastion host, right? Let's wait. It's still pending. It's pending. It's pending. It's pending. Yeah. Select the Bastion host. Click on connect. You can connect two ways. It's either you love to connect with EC2 Instance Connect that will take you to the browser. This guy will take you to the browser. It's just to check for connectivity. Yes, it's working. You can see our public subnet is working. So this guy, the Bastion host, is what is hosted inside the public subnet that has access to the internet. So we can reach the internet from the Bastion host. Let's try that and see again. So from here, if I ping google.com, I could reach Google. All right, I'm pinging Google. Great. Okay. Now let's create the other instance. Call it a private host. Come over here. Launch instance. Call it private host. Mark AMI2. Instance type T2 micro. Key pair. Same key pair. C what? C2. Network settings. VPC, demo VPC. Private subnets. Select security group. C2. AGB. That's all. It's in private subnet to launch. View instance. Now, here is the private host. Let's wait for it to finish creating. All right. So the private host is running. So let's see the difference between the private host and the Bastion host. The private host, if you check here, public IPv4 address, there's no public IP. This is a private IP of the private host. Now, similarly, if I check my Bastion host has public IP. It also has what? A what? What's it called? A private IP. Wait, what did I do? Wait, that's subnet. How did I create it? Private. The cedar block. Oh, it's 2.0. Okay, 2.0. Perfect. Let's go back. All right. So this is this guy. This is a private IP of the private host, 2.233. Now, if I try to ping this guy from, if I can't access this guy even. See, connect. If I try to use instance connect, it is disabled. I need to hide this thing. Let me hide this guy. Hide floating. All right. So this guy is disabled. because there's no public IP. So I cannot access this guy over the internet. It's not possible. I can't access it over the internet. All right. So there's no way. Now, but I want to access this guy through what? A Bastion host. How do we do that? This is how I'll do it. Now, I have the IP. This is the IP. I'll copy this IP. All right. Remember, they both share the same key pair. They both share the same key pair. I'll copy this IP. I'll go to my Bastion host. This is my Bastion host, right? Then I will say SSH. Guys, watch you. SSH. This is the IP of the private host. I will say EC2, because the user I want to connect with is EC2 user. EC2-user at this IP. But if I hit enter and I say yes, I'm going to have an error, permission denied. Because there's no what? There is no private key. There's no key associated. Right? So what I will do now, I'll come to my base machine. Remember, we downloaded that private key, which was ch2-key. ch2-key. All right? So that key is the ch2-key perm. Let me go back. Guys, see you. I will use a cat command. Don't worry. You will learn this thing gradually. The cat command is a Linux command. It's a bash command that is used to view the content of a file. This command is used to view the contents of a file. So I want to view the content of this file. So I'll say cat ch2-key. I'll press enter. All right. Though we've not done Linux, but just follow this step accordingly. You'll be fine. And when we're done Linux, all of these things will be my fere for you. You're with me. Now copy from here. If you're using Mac, you always see this percentage. Don't add that percentage. It's not among. That percentage symbol does not follow. Right click and copy. Come to your Bastion host. All right. Come to your Bastion host and do something. And use a command called nano. What is nano? Nano is a file editor. I want us to use nano, right? When we shall start Linux proper, I'll be using Vim instead of nano. But Vim is more advanced, all right? It requires a lot of technicality to use Vim. At this beginning phase, you don't need to know about Vim until you start learning Linux. But for now, I can manage with nano. You can manage with nano. Nano, I'll give it a name. All right. And call it okay, c2-key.pem. It must have .pem. I will press enter. I will paste that key I copied from my base machine. I will right click. I will paste. I will scroll to the top. That's it. Now I need to save this guy now. Come at the bottom here. You see some instruction. Control O is to write out file. This is to save, Control O. So I need to save now. I will press Control O on my keyboard. I'm pressing Control O, Control O. The moment I press Control O on my keyboard, it will say file name to write. Yes, that's the file name. I'll press enter. Just press enter this time because the name is correct. Enter. No. Wait. Control O now. Control O. Get the cancel. Append. Prepend. Find him to write. Nah, yes, no. Are they come? Wait. Let me do Control X to exit. Control X. No. Let me go back there. Okay, it has saved it too. Okay, that Control O we did. I was sure it was properly, but don't worry. Control O, then enter. You don't save. Then Control X to exit. Control X is gone. So if I now do cat, that file ch2, all right, I'll press enter. So this is the content of that file. So now I can now do something. I can now recall that command, say ssh-i. I will specify the key name. The key name is ch2 key.pem space ec2 user at 15.0.2.233. So with this now, I should be able to SSH from my Bastion host towards the private host. Let's try that and see. I'll hit enter. Now it's complaining because this key is too exposed. All right, this key, the permission in this key is too exposed. I will use the ch mode to change the permission. ch mode 400 ch2. All right, I'm changing the permission towards 400. Don't worry, you will understand all these things. Now let me connect again. SSH-i, the key, the private key, then the user, then the private IP address of the private host. I'll hit enter. The moment I hit enter, I have automatically logged on onto the private EC2 instance. You can see the IP address has changed. This is the IP address of my Bastion host. And here is the IP address of my what? Of my private host. So far, we have seen how we've been able to gain access to this private machine through what? Through a Bastion host that is exposed to the internet. This guy must be exposed to the internet. Why this guy must not be exposed to the internet? Because we are installing critical applications on this guy that we don't want it to be exposed to the internet. So, right, that's why we need to what? Create a Bastion host. So through that host, we are going to gain access to this machine, and that we have comfortably implemented. At this juncture, guys, any question? So we have successfully implemented the concept of what? Bastion host. All right. But from this guy, I cannot talk to Google because what? This guy does not have internet access. So when we meet on Friday, that's when we shall, no copy that this thing, no voila. We shall now look at NAT instances, NAT gateway, VPC endpoints, VPC peering. All right. So NAT instances or NAT gateway could be used to grant access, internet access to this machine. We are going to grant it a one-way internet access, meaning that this guy can talk to the internet, but the internet cannot talk back to him. See, this private machine will be able to talk to the internet. So it means that from here, I can ping the internet. I can ping Google. I can reach any person on the internet. But anybody who tries to reach out to this guy there will be no route. There will be what? No route. Because this guy uses a private IP. It doesn't have a public IP. It is only using what? A NAT gateway. The NAT gateway is doing a translation, network address translation. It's translating this guy private IP to a public IP. That public IP is fake IP. So this guy is using that fake IP to communicate to the internet. But if you try to use that IP, you can't reach this guy. All right. So that is what we are going to look at when we meet on Friday. So until then, is there any question? We've seen Bastion host. So nothing is going, terminate. Any question? So that we'll call it a night. All right. How many private hosts can you connect to a Bastion? Anyhow, a lot. All right, a lot. But it must use same private key. Right? Will these commands work on Windows? No, they won't work. Windows is very few of them. This CH mode will not work. I'm not sure. CH mode. Wait, do I still have that PowerShell here? Let me check if I still have PowerShell. Power. Okay, I have PowerShell here. Let me check something. So I'm PowerShell now. Let me check CH. Okay, I have CH mode here. There's CH mode. There's cats already. Cats C2. Okay, I have cats. You can try it. There's CH mode. CH mode is working. So there's CH mode here. So CH mode is on PowerShell. All right, it's on PowerShell. So let me exit from PowerShell. So CH mode, because I have PowerShell and Bash on my Mac. Okay, yes, it will work. Any other question, guys? Any other query? No query. So guys, please, you need to explain how some of us using Windows machine can use and run these commands. See here. When we start Linux, by God's grace, if we could finish everything by Friday, all right? When we start Linux, you start appreciating, you understand it, all right? Even with Mac, we never fit run am until we start. Don't worry. No, Mac, you fit do am now. All right. But just look at the video. All I've done, just follow the video, okay? Step by step. Follow the video. You'll do it. You won't get lost. You won't get lost. Just follow the video. When we start Linux, you maneuver everything. Okay. In the beginning of that Linux, I'll want to use my Linux machine. So I'll show us some certain things, how to set some terminals, how to use some terminals, all right, to relate with Linux-based machine. We'll do them from the beginning. So once I'm done and finished, I'll come switch back to my Mac, all right? I'm very fast when I'm using Mac. Okay, when I'm using a Mac machine, I'm fast than my Windows machine. Okay, so very fast and comfortable for me. All right, any other question, guys? All right. So guys, I will share the recording bit by bit. All right, bit by bit. So see you guys on what's it called? On Friday. See you guys on Friday. So let me delete everything I've done so far. Don't forget, you have to delete everything. Private host, Bastion host, instance, terminate them. Terminate. No wahala. No wahala. So go to your VPC, demo VPC, action, delete. All right, I can't delete. Can't delete. What was it saying? Can you explain how to generate CEDA block when creating a VPC? No, you can't, you don't generate VPC. All right. Create VPC. Look at it now. You just choose. All right. You can choose. That's why we create. That's why we treated so IP addressing. All right. And I asked you to go and read, because there are a lot of so many things. There will be a lot of moving parts. When I give you a document, read it. Read to understand. If you don't understand, reach out to me. Anything you don't understand, you have to reach out to me so that you understand. You need to understand these things. I'm just speaking any IP from the class of IPs. I told us class A is from 0 to 126. So I can decide to take from 126.10.0.0/16. That's my VPC CEDA. I'm taking from what? Class A. If I want to take from class B is from where? 128. 127 is what, guys? 127 is what? 127 is what? Somebody or mute your mic, talk to me. What is 127?
It's loop back IP.
Yeah.
Article no talk. 127 is okay. Somebody on chat. Okay, Toby, no. Onoche, 127 is what? Sheriff.
It's for local host, Nabi.
I don't know. 127 is what?
It is for local hosts and it is reserved. So it's not something anybody can use.
No, you can't say for local host.
The loop back.
It's
The
used to
loop back
assign,
address.
it's a loop back. Now, if I say 127.0.0.1, this is local host. You can't say 127 is local host. This range is used to assign to loop back. 127, anything within 127.0.0.0. Who is this? Where is it? .0 to 127.255. 255.255.255. This range is for loopback. So inside of this range, the first usable IP is 127.0.0.1, which is assigned and called what? Local host. So guys, please, then if I need to use from class B, you start from 128. I can take any number. Take any number. /16. It's your choice. No wahala. No wahala. So Chigo, they see tell you do. Chigo.
Yes, yes, I can see.
So your subnet has to be in this bracket. Your subnet now will be 128.16.1.0/24. For the first subnet, if you need to create more subnet, 128.16.2.0/24. 128.16.3.0/24. Don't get confused, guys. All right. Is that clear, Chigo?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Any other query, guys? I need to delete all these things. That gateway. The moon gateway. Detach. Delete. Oh, sorry. Route table. Public route table. Okay, it has association, it's not go. Can just try deleting VPC at once. Delete VPC. All right, it's going. So to clear everything now. Okay, so subnet gone. Private subnet refresh, go. They're gone. Routable. Public routable refresh. It should go. All right, so I'm cleared my guys. That's okay, cleared. These guys, they are terminated. All right. So yeah, I'll share this guy later with us. So that's it, guys. That's it. So see you guys on Friday. I'll stop. Oh, I've never stopped recording. Stop recording.